Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 3 of the LRL Legends Racing League RX series. If you've been with us before, you've got an idea of what to expect. We have 10 top-end rallycross exponents tonight. So expect some decent rallycross racing. These guys are very, very good. You will get some battles, you will get some crashes, you will get a bit of everything. It's rallycross. This is what happens sometimes, but hopefully not too many, because these guys are good, like I said to you before. Anyway, without further ado, we're just going to go straight into this tonight. We're straight into qualifying round 1. We'll be showing you all the races. Hopefully we'll get to see all the action. We won't miss anything out. That's what we're looking to get here tonight. So hopefully we'll get plenty of good action, get some good racing, and obviously somebody will win. Not me, of course, because I'm sat here. But so far we've been doing pretty good. We've had some good races. Sorry, I wasn't around for round 2 because I was ill, unfortunately. But so if you were looking for round 2 on here, you wouldn't find it. More's the pity, because I believe it was brilliant. Never mind, we're good to go. We're ready. All the engines are revving. Who's going to get away? Who's going to get away? I think, oh, that was a cracking start, I think, from Magnus in there. And we've got a couple. This is where they always fool me, because some people go for the jokers, some people don't. So that leaves me. I can't go in both places, can I? But at the moment, we've got the front 3 who've got a nice little battle going on there. The other 2 are just behind, but obviously we've got some jokers. We've got a couple of guys who've taken their jokers. So Magnus and MPR Young have taken their jokers. So that'll be an interesting race to look at. There's a little bit of contact there, as you can see, but nothing nasty, nothing awful. What I want to do is try and give you some different viewpoints as we go into the corners here. I think these are brilliant viewpoints, in truth, when you're looking at these. Oh, especially when you're going into the corners, you get a really, really good view. Obviously, this is the front 3. If I jump slightly further back and go, even if I go into 5th with Mr. Young there, he's only slightly down, but these 2 have done their joker, as I said. If I jump through into 4th, Mr. Young's just taken a slight bit of... oh, so we got 2 jokers again. You're doing this to me again, aren't you? Well, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here with Bocco here, with Magnus, because at the moment this is where the battle is. No offence to everybody else, but this is where the fight for first place is going on. But obviously you've got Martin here, who was the winner last time out. For those of you that didn't get to see it, but he was the winner last time out. And he did pretty well. And here we go. So he's going to go and take his joker now. This will be interesting. I'm going to stay with him because we can get a viewpoint here. This is very, very tight. But he comes out behind Magnus. So, again, that was what mattered. Sometimes the undercut works, sometimes it doesn't. It's par for the course. If you can get into your joker and obviously pull off a cracking joker lap, then that's brilliant. Let me know what you think about this in the chat, guys, if you get a chance. If this is a better view for you, I actually personally think it's a bit more intimate. I think it's pretty good. Trackside gives you a great overall view, but I kind of like this view, so I just did that as a little bit of a tester, see what you guys think. But that was a really good race. 2:22 for Magnus there. Martin number 10 in 2nd place, not far behind. Really good race, within 3/4 of a second. Elboy there, just 1.1 second behind. MPR Young, probably not his best race, I think you'd be the first to say. And Helmer there, bringing it home in 5th. Again, all the times, lowest time 2:26. There's less than 4 seconds between all the guys. So as you can see there, it's pretty damn good, and it's pretty damn close. There's not a lot between these guys. Not a lot between them at all. And that's why I say you've got 10 top exponents. So that was your qualifying 1, race 1. Obviously then we'll have the second qualifier. So just to tell you in between while we're waiting for the guys to get in, there were 10 people in for tonight, as there were last time out, which is a nice round figure. It's nice to have that. quality rather than quantity is the mantra, is the name of the game. So obviously what we try and do is 2 lots of 5, and then obviously everyone gets to have the good races. We follow Rallycross as it does perfectly, so obviously for qualifying 2, then the guys with the top times are in the first one, etc. You know the drill. Yeah. If you don't, stick it up in the chat. I'll do my best to try and explain it without confusing the living daylights out of you. Because trust me, I do know the rules. I just can't drive very well. But like I say, everything seems to be going okay so far. So I'm just going to put the first thing in the chat, and I'm just going to say hi for those of you that might be on YouTube and you might see it. So that's me. If you don't know who I am, my name is Motormouth. What else can I say? I do talk a lot. Hence why I do this, and hence why I'm called Motormouth. It just kind of, it just fits. It's self-explanatory, isn't it? But in the meantime, like I say, we've got coming up into round 2 here. We've got the 2 brothers here. There's plenty of rivalry between these 2. Each one will turn around and tell you that they are the best Ripper. So we got, obviously that's Ripper Rapper and RS Ripper. They will both tell you that they are the best. It's up to them to decide which one is the best. But I'm sure nothing like sibling rivalry, is there? And we got Harvard on Speed and Robin Norlander joining us as well. All really, really good guys. All top end races. So in all fairness, we should get another good race coming up. Should be pretty close between the boys. I don't know if we're waiting for somebody else to join us in here. But we'll just hang on for a moment. I'll be able to see. No, this is everybody in. So we've got everybody in for this one. So this is going to be a gang of 4, so to speak, for want of better words. So again, this will be a pretty close race, I would imagine, apart from the sibling rivalry between the Rippers. Obviously, Robin, that's Mr. Norlander to you, and Harvard on Speed. With 4 in, it should, I say should, give them a good chance of getting a better time. Less cars on the track, you know the drill for that. Less cars on the track should give them a pretty good chance to get something good going on as far as the times go, because you know in qualifying, times matter. So, here we got the 4. Again, I'm going to go and try and go for the same sort of view, because I think it really, really works. I hope you guys like it too, but again, like I said before, let me know. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump into Chase because I want to see what it's like from the start. I think it's quite reasonable. So I'm in with RS Ripper. I'm sitting in there behind him. I actually quite like that view. It's not bad. I'm going to jump back, right, so I can see one's gone. Oh, I think Rob got pushed across. I don't think he was trying to cut that corner particularly. I think he got pushed across. But obviously Harvard on Speed has decided to go and get his Joker done and out the way, which could work out to be good. The undercut might work really well. It could really work well. Again, it's one of those tactics. You take the gamble. If you get a good Joker going on, then obviously it can work really well for you. I'm just jumping back to Ripper Rapper. Basically, I want to look at the 3rd car in the group. So obviously we can get a good view of all 3. And I knew he was going to do that to me. Par for the course. That's what I don't know, when they're going to Joker. But again, I'm going to stay with him because all the cars are pretty close. Oh no, Harvard just he just oversteered that. Could have cost him a lot more because he's going really, really tight into those apexes there. But I'm just going to jump forward from here just to the top 2 for a moment because it's really, really tight here between Robin Norlander and RS Ripper. No offence to the other 2, but this is half a second between them. Now this is going to matter. This is going to matter. Who's going to get the run here from this? Who's going to come out the best from doing that? Well, obviously RS Ripper's got himself into the lead. Nice and comfortable 1.5 second lead. Rob obviously is going to try and chase him down. As you can see here, he's not that far behind. Harvard again is pretty close. I know it says there's about 3/4 of a second between them, but as you can see in here, there's not much in that. Ripper Rapper, oh no, he's just caught the edge there. But obviously he's already done his Joker, and as you can see there, RS Ripper's just done his Joker and he's come out slightly behind Rob. but there's not much in it as we're into the last lap. So it's all, oh no, that was his chance, wasn't it? He just took too much of a chance there to try and gain that little bit of ground on Robin, and Robin's actually got himself into a good position, and he's going to take the win. Interesting to see what the times are. So win for Robin, RS Ripper in second, Harvard on Speed in third, and Ripper Rapper in fourth. Probably not, okay, times slightly slower than Heat 1 because 2:22 was our win, but again, you look at all those times. Fastest time was a 2:22, the slowest time's been a 2:27. There's 5 seconds between all the guys, and in fairness there were a couple of things that did take place during that. And in fairness, all the times are still pretty good. You've still only got 4 seconds between the 4 guys, and that's with sometimes when things don't go to plan. These races are tight. Make one mistake on a 4-lap race, without sounding rude, most of the time you're pretty much done for. But you know, it can be salvaged, shall we say, for want of better words. And even if something bad happens in Q1, you've still got 3 more qualifiers. So, you know, it isn't all over for you. You know, there are still things that are there for you to salvage. You can still do stuff. So it is all still there for you. So, it's never over till it's over. This is what we say. Never, ever over till it's over. So hopefully, like I say, we'll just see what the qualifiers are. There's usually a minute or two while we just get all that into place. Get all the qualifiers scores together and just get them all collated. Obviously, because we've only had 2 heats rather than the usual 4. Hopefully that'll be a tad easier for everybody to do. Hopefully. But we'll find out in a moment or two. But anyway, just to fill you in a little bit on these guys, or some of these guys. Obviously we've had the 2 rounds previous to this. For those of you that don't know, Martin, number 10, is the overall championship leader at the moment with 53 points. Closely followed by RS Ripper with 47 points. In third place is Bucko Magnus to me in third place with 45. So again, only a 2-point difference there. Elboy there is taking up fourth with 39 points. MPR Young, fifth on 38 points. Ripper Rapper on 34. Robin then in seventh with 33. His teammate Helmer is on 27. Harvard on Speed on 12. Mr. Care Bear, who's not been with us for Matt, unfortunately not been able to join us tonight. He did the first round, he wasn't able to make the second round, obviously not able to make this one, unfortunately, on 10 points. So obviously, you know, it's all there to fight for, like I say, with these guys. Your 2 winners, obviously RS Ripper won the test round, and he also won the first round, which was at Liddon Hill, so he had a pretty good start. 2 wins off the block. Slipped up a bit in the third one to obviously then jump into 5th place in round 2, which probably wasn't what he wanted at Catalonia, but hey, that's what I mean. It only takes one thing, and in Rallycross, you're probably seeing, as in real life, sometimes you'll get somebody who just squeaks into the final through qualifying. They might take the last qualifying place and they end up winning it. Which, for the individual event, yeah, that can happen. But for the championship, obviously, if you then get, I don't know, 16 points from qualifying, if you max out on qualifying and then you do a decent semi and maybe come second or third in the final, you could actually still gain more championship points than the person who wins the individual event. So not winning the individual event really doesn't have a massive bearing on your overall championship points. It's great for an event winner. Who doesn't want to win an event? But the overall title goes to the most consistent performer over the season. And that's the difference. So you've got the 2 things running. You've got the 2 options running there. And again, there we go. Just as I get there. So we got the qualifying results from round 1. Obviously, the fastest driver was Magnus with his 2:22.58, so he gets 50 points. Martin number 10 on 45 points. Robin on 42 points. Elboy 40. RS Ripper 39. Harvard 38. MPR Young 37. Helmet with 36. Ripper Rapper 35. And Danielson, who obviously did not get to start, with 34. So there you go. At the end of round 1, you've got a top 9. Obviously, because there's 9, everybody will be in the semis. If we had more than 12, obviously, only the top 12 would get in, as most of you probably know. And then, obviously, we go from there. But everyone will be in the finals. But, again, by finals, obviously, everyone will qualify and get through to the semis. But, obviously, points still mean prizes. So, we're just waiting, obviously, to get Q2 underway. And obviously your top 5, as you can see then, your top 5 are going to be Bocco Bomb, Martin, Robin, Elboy and RS Ripper. Because again, what you try and do is put the fastest guys together, and that's pretty much the name of the game, because it makes it better. If all the fastest guys are together in a heat, the chances are you're going to get some pretty fast times. That's what you expect, and that's what you hope to get. That's the idea behind the format of Rallycross. I'm sure somebody will tell me differently if I get anything wrong, but that's pretty much the score as we have it. So again, just looking back, just getting ready for everybody to get into here. I think we've got everybody in that we need. If we have, I'll just make for the signal. Yep, we're good to go. We're ready to fly. So again, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? This is why every race means something. Every race has a meaning, because it's all about points at the end of the day. Get those points in the bag, and that's just going to put you in a better position. And again, even if you don't win the event, you can get those championship points and still be the championship leader. Technically, you could not win any events and run away with the championship. If you did really well in qualifying, won your semi and did rubbish in the final, you probably get more points than everybody else anyway. So you could technically come last in every final and win. But who wants to do that? We all want to win. Oh, somebody's sliding around at the back there. Who is sliding around? I think, no, it wasn't. I will have a look and just see who we've got there, just as we're ready to go. So I'm going to sit here on the back row of the grid with Bocco, because I think we've got a better view. Yeah, we've got two cars like merging in together here with Martin number 10 and Elboy. I think we might have a problem. I think we might have a problem here with these guys, because his car just literally, I saw that, just moved over to the left. So whether Martin's going to have a problem here, I'm not sure. We'll certainly find out. I mean, we're not starting yet, but I just saw his car move across to the left. So I think that might be an issue, but I will find out soon enough. Because for the moment, his car just moved right away across. And that seemed to happen pretty much straight away. So I don't know whether that's basically disconnected him from the lobby. I don't think he's disconnected per se, because he's still showing us there. But without sounding rude, that looks a bit weird, doesn't it? There's something not right with that. So hopefully the guys will be able to speak to one another and find out what's going on, unless it's just PlayStation being a bit weird. But as it is, I'm going to stay there with these two guys, just to make sure to see if everything does go okay. Like I say, there's a 2-minute counter between that and the start of the race, so I would like to think that if there were any issues there, we'd all be okay. But there's definitely something afoot here. So I'm just aware of something, some communication there, so bear with us. These things do happen. There's some things aren't quite right here, so I think I'm just going to wait and see. Yeah, he's basically DC'd him from the race, unfortunately. We'll cover that in a moment. Obviously, everyone's up and running. I'm going to stick with these two guys. I'm going to stick with Robin and Magnus, because the other two guys have gone. I think Hellboy and RS Ripper have gone for their jokers. Oh, bit of contact there, but nothing untoward. Nothing untoward. The guys kept it clean. The guys kept it all clean, which is, again, it's hard. It's tough to do that in this. So again, like I say, these two are going. Are they right? Martin. Robin's gone for his. Robin's gone for his. Obviously, we're going to run this race, and there might be a point of contention at the end, but we'll cover that in a moment, just in case anyone's listening. It showed Martin in the lobby for us, but it would appear that the race didn't load properly for him. So whether that's a PlayStation issue, again, we'll cover that in a moment, because I can't look at the rules right now. We'll let the guys have a look at that after the race is gone. But the only thing you can do at the time is run the race and then see what else happens afterwards. So this is where it's going to be interesting. So Bocco takes his. Oh, he's going to come out. Oh, this is tight. This is so tight. Let me jump back. I'm going to jump back with Hellboy, because the four of them are really tight here. And to get an overall view, I think this is much better footage to get an overall view. So obviously at the moment, we've got Bocco in 4th place. This is where it tells me that obviously everyone's close together, which obviously I know. But it's a bit annoying, because it gets in the way of showing me and showing you who's taking their joker laps. So at the moment, I've got Rob in 4th. I still can't tell if everyone's taking their joker, but I think they have, because we're on to lap 4, so they must have, just by process of elimination. So at the moment, RS Ripper looks to be taking a win from Hellboy. Bocco in 3rd, which is just going to hang on. Yep. So again, RS Ripper wins, and it shows, obviously now it just shows up on my screen as Martin disconnecting. So RS Ripper takes the win. Hellboy takes 2nd. Magnus takes 3rd. Robin takes 4th. It appears to have disconnected Martin, but again, we'll cover that in a moment. But at the moment, that's the race. That's the race as it stands. We'll see what'll happen for qualifier 2. Whether Martin gets to go into that one or not. Again, we'd have to look at the race rules and see what we're covered with that. It's unfortunate when it happens. It's a bit horrible. But for some reason, it showed him in the lobby, but it didn't. His car just sat there and moved right the way across to the left, as you probably saw. But that's all right. He'll still get points. I'm just clarifying that. It's a bit unfortunate. It is a naff thing, but again, in the interest of timing and getting the event done within a certain time, then we generally work on the auspices of no restarts. If a disconnection event happens, it is horrible and it is unfortunate, but it's just like blowing your engine in real life. It's something you can't legislate for. But as it goes tonight, it doesn't stop him being in the final. It doesn't stop him being in that, so that should be all okay. Something just happened on this PlayStation as well, so you might just lose visual for a couple of seconds. I've no idea why that happened, but it did. It's PlayStation. But it's Martin was a bit unfortunate there, but like I say, he'll still be in the final. He'll still get his chance to do everything. So that's okay. So, like I say, that's qualifier 2, round 1, or heat 1, if you want to call it that. We'll wait for heat 2. But obviously, like I say, you have to have contingency for these things. But you have to, because without sounding rude, if you had X number of reruns, I know it's sounding, you could theoretically have like 6 or 7 reruns. and obviously then time becomes an issue. So it is unfortunate, but the nearest thing we can get to it is sort of like saying it's like blowing your engine. You know, it is like blowing your engine. It's one of those things you can't legislate for. You've no idea it's going to happen. Really unfortunate for him as well. But like I say, it's not the end of the line. Yes, he'll still get points for last place, which, yeah, okay, is a bit of a bummer for him, because obviously you don't know where he would have come. Could have won it, could have been there or thereabouts. You don't know, but he'll still get some points in the bag. It's not all over, and the fact that he can still make the semis and the final, you know, again, that makes a difference too. It's not all over. So, like I say, we're just waiting now for obviously Heat 2 for everybody to jump in here. Like I say, even for last place tonight, he's still going to get 35 points. Yes, I know it's not he might have lost anything between 15 points maximum he could have lost, but hey, he's still got 30 odd points. It still matters. So we've got everybody in then for Heat number 2. We are all good to go, I think. I think we're all ready to rock and roll. And we'll see what we can do on that one. So we're going to get ready to rock and roll. And see what we can do. See what we can view on here. So we're ready to go. Already in this second heat. Let's have a look. Let's see how we get by as this is loading up. Again, we're all looking around the 222s, 223s are probably sort of the faster end times here. Even the lower end times being sort of around the 227, etc. Nothing to be sniffed at. It's rapid stuff. If you didn't know before, you certainly know now. And again, due to Martin number 10's misfortune with good old PlayStation, then it gives an opportunity for possibly somebody to get themselves in here. So let's have a look. Let's jump in. Let's jump here with Trackside. I'm going to stay with Ripper. There you go. That gives me a broad view. We're going to again look at all these different views. I actually like the other one when we're racing, but it'd be interesting to see what Trackside looks like here. It's better at some places than others, but hopefully you guys get a good view. You can see all the cars looking a bit muffled in the distance there. But we should be ready to rock and roll any second now. So again, this is going to be a tight one. Probably say that every race, because let's face it, they all are, aren't they? Oh, there's not a lot between these guys, if you've already seen. So, and that's what makes the competition what it is. Now, every one of these guys starting on this grid could win easily. Certain factors have to go in their favour, of course, like a good start. The start is oh so important. Get to that first corner first. So here we go, ready to rock and roll. Lights are out. Bang, foot down. Let's get going. So again, all pretty close coming into that. I'm going to stay Trackside for the moment. Right, 3 of these guys have gone for straight in for the Jokers. I'm going to watch those 3. I know Mr. Young has got himself in the lead, but this is actually a pretty good view of these guys. Some tracks are better for this, some tracks are worse. But there's, to be honest, here you get a pretty broad view. So let's jump through with MPR Young, who's not done his Joker yet, but obviously what he wants to do is try and build up a lead enough. I'm going to stay with him and just see if he goes to the Joker. Right, so he's going to go. Let's see where he's going to come out then. Let's jump on. I can see the other 3. So, no, he's got that lead. No, he didn't do it, did he? I thought he had. Was that just me being daft or what? I thought he'd done it. It might have been just my view of the track, but no, he didn't do it. But he's got a 2-second lead. So I'm just looking at Ripper Rapper there, who's again, it looks like he's way behind, but he isn't way behind, as you can see there. It's really, really close. as they all come over the jump there, get some big air, for want of better words, but I think it's better not to have the air. So obviously Helmer has now done the Joker, as you just saw there, and that's pretty tight between him and MPR Young in the first place into lap 3. Obviously one more still to go. Let's jump back with Ripper. So you've got 2 little battles going on. We just seem to have split a little bit, haven't we, into 2 and 2, but that can soon change, as you can see here. Oh, that's a really good move. That's a really good move from Mr. Young there to get himself through, to get himself past Ripper and Harvard there. That was Ripper getting himself past Harvard. Obviously Harvard's back there as we're into lap 4. Jump through to the front 2 here. This is a nice little battle. Half a second between these guys, and there's only about 0.2 of a second between the other 2 guys. But in fairness, Helmer looks as if, barring a mistake, he's going to keep that lead. MPR Young is doing his level best, and there are 2 guys. So there you go, that's your 1 and 2. And there you go, that was pretty close between the 2. It did split up into like 2 and 2, but it was pretty good. If you like that view better, guys, let me know. I thought that was... It does look pretty good on this track, in fairness. The trackside view doesn't always look brilliant. Doesn't always look brilliant on some tracks. Depends how close you get everybody. But Helmer takes that in 2:22.5. Again, a really, really good time. 2:23 for MPR Young. Ripper in 2:25.7 takes 3rd. Harvard takes 2:26 in 4th. Again, yep, there's nothing between these guys. Okay, 4 seconds. But it's just getting the corners right, get all the apexes right, get everything into perspective. So I think that's going to give Helmer 50 points on this one, unless I stand corrected, but I think he was the quickest time. Actually, the top 2 might have been the top 2 quickest times in that heat, in that round, because I know the heat 1 was about 2:23. So again, it's pretty close, I think. I think that was pretty close between them. Yeah, because I think, yeah, RS Ripper was 2:23.28. So I think that was really, really tight then. So not much between the top 3 times. So I think they're going to be your top 3 for Q2. I certainly think that's going to be the case. But I'll stand corrected if I've got it wrong. But again, it can change, can't it? It's all about getting that start. If you get that start, if you're first into that corner and then you make no mistakes for 4 laps, you're probably going to win. You're probably going to get the win. But it's easier said than done. Much easier said than done. So we'll just wait for that info to come through, but that's what I'm thinking. That's my thought process. We'll find out in a moment or 2 if I've got that right. But in the meantime, I'm just going to have a drink of a certain no added sugar drink. But I'm not going to say the name because they don't sponsor us, so they ain't getting they're not getting a mention, are they? However, it's very nice. But that's all I'm going to say. So again, just waiting for those results to be collated. Like I say, it was unfortunate for Martin number 10 in that one, but again, it's not the end of the road. Yes, it has an effect on him, certainly for the points he could have gained in respect of that, but in all truth, when it comes to the semis and the final, yeah, it affects his overall qualifying scores and stuff, but I don't think that's going to be everything that I'm just going to have a quick look at something. I think we had a slight issue in Q1, which obviously I'm led to believe the stewards might be looking at that, but I'll let you know once I know more on that one. Obviously, once the stewards have had a look, we try and get everything done pretty quickly because of the time frame that we work within. Which goes without saying, as you hear me opening another can of soft drink. I'm not advocating drinking anything. Right, that's okay. I think we've probably got a viewpoint on that, which would probably incur a 5-second penalty as sort of like a level 1 indiscretion. Again, nobody means it, but these things do happen sometimes. It goes with the close proximity of the racing that we have. I think I'd be inclined to agree with what they're looking at there. Let's see on that. And it does to me. It does look pretty. In all fairness, it's some things that do happen. It did have a detrimental effect. It certainly did. It does have a detrimental effect, and it's one of those things. It's unfortunate, but if something happens and it has an effect on somebody else, then we have to have a system in place. And again, that's what we try to do. That's how we try to put it, which I think is fair enough. I think that then puts everything into some sort of perspective. So, just to give you the Q2 results, then your final results in place there are Helmer takes you 50 points. RS Ripper is second. Again, look how tight they were, the times there. RS Ripper takes the second from MPR Young in third, Elboy in fourth, Magnus in fifth, Robin in sixth, Ripper Rapper takes seventh, Harvard on Speed takes eighth. Obviously, unfortunately for Martin, he had that unfortunate disconnection event, so that takes him down to ninth. I'm sure he would have done better than that, but he still gets 35 points from the qualifying, so that still works for him. So that's still... And again, just to make sure, again, we will amend anything with regard to any of the stewards' issues there. But in all fairness, these things do happen. We try not to be too harsh with it because, hey, it's all about fun at the end of the day, isn't it? But sometimes things do happen. Things do work that way. Now, a 5-second penalty might not seem much, but when there's only like 4 seconds between the guys, 5 seconds is a lot. Trust me. In this game, it's a hell of a lot. It can make a hell of a difference. So obviously that will make some amendments to the overall scores, because I think that'll change from some of the positions in Q1. Obviously, I think it will drop from 3rd to 9th. Obviously, we'll move everybody up one place, which will gain everybody else who were below 3rd place. That will gain them some points. But again, it's all done in the spirit of fairness as much as possible, and that's what we try to do. We're not trying to be overly punitive, but hey, things do happen. Nothing's ever meant, not amongst these guys, but mistakes do happen. If you watch real live rallycross, you'll know exactly what I mean, because you see some pretty amazing things happen in some of these races, and these guys are the top exponents on the planet, so it does happen. With the best will in the world. And like I say, the amendments will be made, and we'll update you as soon as we have those. That's okay. And then we will get on with Q3, which obviously will bring together your top 5 guys from the previous round, which you are just seeing now, just populating into this room. And obviously they're the guys that I gave you the names of earlier, as you probably saw. Just to refresh you, that would be Helmer, RS Ripper, MPR Young, Elboy and Bocco Bomb, otherwise known as Magnus to you and me. Because it's easier to say, isn't it? Although I believe that's part of his surname. I'm sure he told me that. He'll correct me if I've got it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was right. But again, like I say, if you look at all the times from Q1 and you look at the times from Q2, you got 228.508 from Helmer, which is the fastest of the night so far, and 222.58, which was the next fastest. So there's nothing in this. Nothing. So obviously here we go into Q3 of Lankabannen, which I've said absolutely wrong, because it won't be said like that in Norwegian. but I'm sure Magnus will tell me that what the correct pronunciation is. But his English is far better than my Norwegian, because my Norwegian is pretty much, well, it is non-existent, no offence. I just know English, English and English, a pathetic amount of French, and a very, very, very pathetic amount of German. Anyway, enough about my linguistic skills, or lack of them. Into round 3, heat number 1, which obviously is Boko Bomb, Elboy, MPR Young, Helmer and RS Ripper. Again, I'm not even going to say it's going to be tight. They always are. It's a case of who's going to hit that first corner. Who's going to get that start? Who's going to get that, obviously, declutching and getting everything right? It's all about the start. So here we go, ready to rock and roll. Oh, and off we go, right up the middle from MPR Young, but I think Magnus has got the inside of the other two gone for the Joker they have. I'm staying with the 3 that haven't done Joker, because obviously that's your lead 3. So again, looking at Magnus there from RS Ripper and Elboy, with obviously MPR Young and Helmer behind. Apologies for not viewing them. I'm viewing these 3 at the minute because they're all pretty tight as they come over the hill. Again, oh right, so RS Ripper, I think, off the top of my head, just went there, did he? Or was it Elboy who went? It was Elboy that went, wasn't it? I'm lying. So we got RS Ripper there, closely tailing Magnus. So these two have got themselves an over 5.6 second lead. Again, no disrespect to the other 3 guys, but this is where the action is. This will be interesting as we come into 3. That's RS Ripper, I thought, had the better line then. Is Magnus going to go for it? Yeah, he's going to go for his Joker. Right, this is going to be interesting. So he's hoping for that undercut because he still had the pace coming off there. So I think the fact is, I don't think both of them could go for it at the same time. I don't think it made sense. So as we look at that, again, the top 2 guys way out front. Not the best of races for MPR Young, unfortunately for him. Same with Elboy. So RS Ripper, I'm going to stay with him as he comes over the hill because he's got to go and do his Joker. And if I stay in this view, I should be able to see Magnus coming round. Oh, he's blown it round the corner. Oh, man. He's not completely lost it, but obviously that cost him big time. That cost him big time into there. I could see what he was doing. You could see what he was doing. His manoeuvre is high risk, high reward. In all fairness, it's probably the best way to take that. But he just overcooked it that little bit. He was just trying that bit too much, and that's cost him the win. So RS Ripper takes it. Magnus takes 2nd place. Helmer takes 3rd. Elboy takes 4th. MPR Young takes 5th. Oh, I just blew it there at the end. Just blew it there at the end. So RS Ripper 222.7, again a really fast time. Magnus with 224.1, Helmer with 226.4, Elboy 228.0, MPR Young 235.5. Obviously, he's had a bit of a bump to get that. He wouldn't do that normally. But that's, again, the margins are so tight in this. That one mistake there, pressure maybe got to him. He might argue differently later. Maybe the pressure got to him there with that, but he was going to come out in front. He would have come out in front of that. I think that's fair to say. He would have come out in front for that one. But just overcooking it on the curb. Probably the curb has pushed him round a little bit more than he wanted to. Probably had to lay off the throttle a little bit. Obviously lost a bit of pace coming into that, but he had to do that to rescue it. Otherwise, if he'd have gone right the way round, then he would have probably come home last, which is not what you want to do. So You know, he managed to salvage it. All credit to him for that one. So, in all fairness, then, you know, it's just one of those. It's one of those. It's on the night. That 1 second, that half a second, that it's split second stuff. So, if you don't know that before watching this, after watching it, you know. And it happens to everybody. If it can happen to the best of these guys, trust me, you and me can do it easily. And I probably would. In fact, I have. I've tried. I can tell you firsthand that this is tough. You might try it in certain other games like Dirt Rally or whatever like that. It's fun, but it's nowhere near as tough as this. Because this is probably a bit more raw. This is probably a bit more real. In truth, I'm sure most of these guys would back me up on that one. I'm sure they'll tell me if I've got it wrong, but no, I think it's fair to say that in this game, it's pretty much where it should be. It's tough. Put the practice in, because you've got to. You've got to learn how to drive. And it's a different way of driving. Get used to how to use your handbrake into your turns. Don't have it too much. You have it too much, you're going to turn far too much. So you've got to get it right. Same with everything. Practice makes perfect. The more you put in, the more you get out of this. And it is really, really rewarding. It is really good fun. From my perspective, if you do one good lap, trust me, you feel really good. Because it's a challenge. It's not easy to do. And if you do that, then that's where, if you notice, if you're looking at the ratings that most of these guys have got, most of these guys are pretty proficient at driving per se. So, and then it's another level to be top-notch in this. So I'm sure the guys won't mind me bigging up their achievements, but it is pretty good. And what I'm going to share is obviously just let you all know, if you didn't, that obviously there was a corner cut in Q1 from Robin Norlander. He got a 5-second penalty for that. He's made aware of it. He knows about it. So I said as soon as I knew what the outcome of that were the stewards, and obviously the tables will be amended accordingly. So when you see after this, when you see the final Q3 table, then you will see when we get the tables in, they will be reflected. Right, in the meantime, Q3 heat number 2. So we got Ripper Rapper, who will still argue he's the best of the Rippers, but hey, sure RS has got something to say there too. We got Harvard on speed, Martin number 10, who had that so unfortunate event in the previous one, and we lost Robin. Have we got Robin back? Yeah, we got Robin back. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's just make sure we get everybody in. And if we got everybody in and everybody's settled, obviously the guys are in conversation. We have lines of communication set up, as you would imagine, when you've got a number of guys all trying to get together and trying to make this all sync perfectly, then this is what happens. We have lines of communication. Got to be had. Communication makes everything go smoothly, or not, as the case may be. But just waiting for the guys to all get their thumbs up for this one. Hopefully everyone is good to go. Would like to think so. And as soon as all the hands are up, we will be ready to rock and roll. Just want to make sure. Let's just see. Let's just have a look on here. I think we're having a bit of problems with Robin here. We're just going to give him a chance to get back in. Let's see. Just while I put that in, we're just waiting. I think poor Robin's got a few issues here, but hopefully that's a minor thing. We can give him a bit of chance to get back in. Obviously if he can't, then we would have to carry on, but I'm sure he's going to try and get back in. Let's just see what's going on for a moment. That's okay. We just had a bit of an issue. Robin's PlayStation. That's something that's out of people's hands. He's just had to reboot the game, unfortunately for him. But it's not something that takes an inordinate amount of time. So in all fairness, we try and give everybody every chance. As long as the time permits, then hey, we're not harsh. As I said before, and I'll keep repeating for as many times as we ever have to, it's all about fun. Hopefully Robin's back in. I can't see his rating at the moment. That's not looking good. Usually if you can't see somebody's rating, that means it's not going to be very good. I'm hoping that's not the case for Robin, but it's usually the way it is. Let's have a look. Let's just see. I'm just trying to have a look at something again. Just so we can see. I'm just gonna rerun something a second. Yeah, yes. Yeah. So again, we're just waiting. We're just making sure that everything will be right for Robin. We're just going to give him every chance. So again, just waiting, and hopefully everything will work out right. Everything will work out funny. Because we don't want that. These are things that you can't always deal with. So I'm just going to double check something. Yeah. That's a see here. So again, we're just waiting here, just making sure. Again, I'm just clarifying something with one of the other guys who was just querying something, which is fair enough. So again, just clarifying something. And again, we're just clarifying there. In Q3, we had an issue of MPR Young. Again, it was inadvertent. He's got a 5-second penalty from Q3 for what is classed as a push to pass. Basically, you've tapped somebody, it knocks them off. You then gain the place from doing so. You don't give it back. You get a 5-second penalty for push to pass. I know in some respects, in some rallycross events in real life, you can get as much as a DQ for that. But again, you'll keep hearing this from me. You know, our mantra in this league is not to overly punish people. It's about fun. So it's about enjoyment. In the meantime, we've got Robin back. Yep, it's showing up properly, so hopefully he's okay. So that's okay. We're good to go, thankfully. Hopefully everything's all right. It's not sure what happened there, but obviously if you can't see somebody's licensing, then there's definitely something wrong. But in the meantime, again, you've got to try and cover these things as they are happening. And that's... Let's see. Yeah. So again, just waiting for everything to to come up on here, and then we should be good to go. So here we go. So we got 4 obviously in this race. So we got Martin number 10, who I hope will go wonderfully well and have no issues. Harvard on speed, Ripper Rapper, Robin Norlander. So all good to go. The Fantastic Four, the engines rev, the guys get ready to get that clutch in place. That's a cracking start from Martin, and I think he's going to go straight into the Joker. Yes, he is. He's going to go straight into the Joker. The other 2 guys. So Martin number 10. Sorry, I got that wrong. It was Harvard who got the cracking start, wasn't it? Harvard and Ripper. Martin and Ripper in front in the beginning. God, I can't even speak properly now. The excitement's too much for me. In the meantime, Harvard went for the Joker. I'm going to keep it here because obviously these guys are pretty clear at the moment, and there's only 0.8 of a second between them. Again, it could be a really quick heat. It could be pretty quick. Let's have a look. So neither of these 2 guys have gone for the Joker yet, so it's going to be lap 3 and then lap 4. Yeah, that's fair enough. Right, let's have a look in here. So again, Martin number 10 is just extending his lead a little bit. He's trying to make up for the time that he lost in the last one, so he's probably got the bit between his teeth here. It certainly looks it, doesn't it? He's putting in a very sterling performance as he passes into the end of lap 2. And obviously you can see what the lap times that they're doing for each one. Right, so obviously Martin's going to hold out. I'm staying with him. Obviously he's a race leader. He's got himself a nice little lead now. I'm just going to jump into 4th place and see Ripper Rapper, because you can see the other 3 guys here fighting out. So we've got Ripper Rapper there. We've got a nice little battle going on here between Robin Norlander and Harvard on speed. Oh, I don't know. That was a bit tight. I didn't see the whole of that, but if that was a legit move, it was a damn good one, because he looked to keep 2 wheels on the track, I think that. Right, so Martin's got his Joker in there, as you could see. I'm just going to jump back here. These guys are all pretty close. Oh, no. We just had something down with Robin and Ripper, and I didn't get to see it properly. I'm just viewing a replay. To me, at first look, it looked as if Ripper might have come through a bit too much pace coming into the corner, but I might be wrong. So in the meantime, obviously, Martin takes the win. I think that must have been quite quick, but the last lap was a little on the slower side. There you go, 2:22.6. I thought it was. It looked it. I'm getting to the point now where I can guess where they're going to be fast. Harvard on speed, 2:23. Robin Norlander, 2:27. Ripper Rapper, 2:29. There might be an issue for the stewards there. And I will say a quick shout out from the chat, just to show that I can see it, from Mr. Care Bear there, from Matt. Nice for you to be there, mate. You probably put that up ages ago, but I've just been otherwise entwined with all this wonderful racing that we're getting to watch. Get back and join us soon, mate. You missed. I've got a fan, just one, only one. Never going to get any more, am I? But yeah, that might be interesting to see what we've got from that one. I wasn't sure what took place there. So obviously that's your result from Q3 round 2. Again, we'll those results will be collated. There might be a steward's issue there between what happened in 3rd and 4th, but I'm not sure whether it affected any of the positions, if I'm honest with you. I think it was still 3rd and 4th position that the 2 guys finished in, which was obviously Ripper and Harvard, but I wasn't overly sure. So obviously, if nobody says anything, then it's probably as was. The only thing that would alter would be the times, of course. But if you have a bit of a tete-a-tete, then that's going to happen, isn't it? As I just wet my vocal cords a second. just so I don't wear them out completely, which is a tough one for me anyway. But those of you that know me know exactly what I'm talking about. So, like I say, just waiting to collate those numbers for you, and also just to make sure that we cover everything, just in case there is any protest put up for that little tete-a-tete in that last race. As it was, like I said, I think Robin and Ripper Rapper both stayed in the same positions. I don't think anything was gained or lost. Excuse me. So I'm not so sure. But yeah, I think, is this going to be... I'm not sure if this is the same thing. So I'm just trying to have a look at something, just to see. Let me just see that. No. Let's just have a look. So we're just going to make sure of one or two things, just to see exactly where we are, and then we should be good to go. Let's just see. Let's have a look. Again, just to double check. Yeah, occasionally you get certain things going on in these. So there we go. We got those results in. So Martin number 10 makes good on the bit of a disaster in the previous quali to take this one, with a 2:22.6 being good enough to take first place in qualifying 3. So he gets a 50 points. RS Ripper gets 45. Magnus with 42. Harvard on speed with 40. Helmer 39. Robin 38. Elboy 37. Ripper Rapper 36. MPR Young with 35. And obviously, I don't know whether we'll get an update on that for anything else. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's the one that I just saw. The Q3 there. Again, we're just going to double check on a couple of things. So, brilliant. There you go. Perfect. This man must read my mind. Big shout out for Dan Mack, by the way, who puts all our facts and figures together. He's there with the number cruncher and the abacus. He is that man. So we'll give him a big shout out for that. I think he deserved that, mate, for all your sterling work. So at the moment, going into Q4, Magnus has 131 points in first place. RS Ripper has 130 points, as does Martin number 10 with 130 points. So it's not all bad for him, considering what happened in round 2. Helmer's in 4th, 126. Elboy's 119. MPI Young 115, as Harvard has. Robin is 111. Ripper Rapper 109. Again, it's tight. There's not a lot in it. Let's see. I'm just trying to look at this one here and just see. What are we doing there? I don't really see what Helmer did. That's okay. We're just trying to look at something. Young and Helmer. No, I don't see anything in that. It's okay. Again, just to relate. Let's just see. And again, like I say, we're just trying to do everything as quickly as we can, just to look into these. Let's have a look. And again, like I say, we're trying to be quick. You're trying to do these things rapidly, but you're trying to make sure you make the right decisions, because you want them to be right, don't you, at the end of the day? Now, these guys put effort in. We don't want to... Let's just see that. let's have a look. Oh, yeah, we just got a couple of issues coming into that. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I was just saying. The one that I was mentioning about earlier on. I think they both ended up in the same position, but it's... And again, you know, you agree with some of these. When you see some of these. And you think, and again, just looking at some of those. And again, these things, let's see that. So we're just getting ready to get into just as we're getting ready for quali 4, obviously just trying to clear up a couple of things just to make sure, just to see exactly where we are. Again, it's really difficult because it's hard. You don't want to rush and get it wrong. Let's just see. Oh, I can't type now. God help me. I'm a bloke, aren't I? I'm not supposed to be able to do two things at once, am I? I can really. Just don't tell my wife. So, like I say, just clearing up one or two things. These things happen sometimes. It does happen. And again, I think again, sometimes, you know, things can happen and people don't use positions, etc., etc. And again, it's really tough sometimes. Some of these things are really, really difficult to look at. Even if you're looking at them from different angles, they can be tough sometimes. And the thing that you want to do, you want to try and get it right. You want to be fair. It's all about fairness and consistency. And you know, if some things can look very, very similar to other things, depending on how you look at them. It's MPI Young. Which one is that one? That one is. Let's just look at that one again. Yes. And again, if I look at that again, let me see. I say. Let's see. Again. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Again, just trying to clarify certain things. let's have a look. So hopefully we get that clarified anyway, obviously. So again, we'll just wait for Q4. And we just wait for that final bit to be done. Again, as I said before, things can be, I won't just say emotive. Obviously, it can be emotive because especially if you're involved. You know, if that's you, it's in the heat of the moment. Everything happens so damn quick, and it is so damn quick. Let's face it. And it's just one of those things where sometimes you just have to say, you just got to do what you think is right. Yeah, well, we're just waiting for all of this. It's not often you get me quiet, is it? Hopefully. So hopefully that will all get sorted out and that'll all be done. So we'll be fine and dandy and good to go. Apologies for the delay, gents. It's again we try and do it as best we can. It's really difficult when you get some incidents happening. You know, we do try our best, and it's all we can do. As long as we know we're trying to be as fair and consistent as we possibly can. Yeah. So hopefully we'll be good to go. Hopefully we'll be ready to go in a second. Like I say, sometimes things happen. I'll be tempted to say, yeah, shit happens. Okay, it is tough. It is tough. Yeah. Let's see. That's that. Okay, stays there. But again, when you look at incidents, again, these things sometimes can make it. Yep, they can be very tough. They can be very tough. I see that. So again, apologies for the delay and everything. Everything was going so swimmingly, wasn't it? Sod's law. Let's just go again. Looking at that. No. Yeah. So hopefully then we should have everything sorted. Hopefully we'll be fine there. So that's okay. Okay, hopefully we're good to go. So we'll just wait for everybody else to get back into a lobby, and then we can get things going. And again, like I say, sometimes things happen and you kind of, you look at these things and you think, right, okay, we're obviously going to go into a different lobby just to get ourselves going again, because I think we've got a new lobby set up in here just to make sure. Yeah, because I was Billy No Mates, but now I've got some mates. So I'll just wait for me. Let's just see on here. So yeah, we should be ready. So we're getting ready, obviously, to get to final qualifying on the road, and then we should get into the semis and the final. So hopefully we won't be too much longer, but we'll just make sure that we've got everything else correct. Okay, so hopefully we'll be good to go in a moment. Hopefully, yeah, and we are good to go. So again, looking at the qualifying, just to get you back to where we were. Obviously, there's 1 point between the top three. That's Bocco to you, RS Ripper, Martin number 10. So 131 points for Bocco, 130 apiece for RS Ripper and Martin number 10. Helmer 126, Elboy 119, MPR Young 115, as Harvard on Speed has. Robin 111, Ripper Rapper's got 109. So here we're going into qualifying 4, all to play for. So again, apologies for the hold up there. Everything was going so well, wasn't it? But hey, always things to learn. We will only get better. So back to the real stuff about burning rubber and tarmac and dust and all that sort of stuff, because that's what we really want, isn't it? So we got Martin number 10, who obviously is right there, ready to try and press his claims for, even though he had the disconnect in round 2, it just shows you he could still top the charts at the end of qualifying. So Martin number 10 with Helmer and Magnus and RS Ripper. So these are your 4 guys who are getting ready to go into this one. So ready to rock and roll, engines blaring, clutches at the ready, gear sticks ready, go. That's a cracking start, by the way. That's a stunning start from Martin number 10. In the meantime, was it Hellboy who went for it? Yeah, he was. I'm going to stay with these 3. So Martin number 10 from Bucko and RS Ripper, the 3 of them are tight. Helmer actually is not that far down considering he took his Joker, so again this could be really, really tight as we end up into lap 3 or 4 once everybody else has done their Jokers too. But at the moment these 3 are pretty much all within a second of each other. In fact they are. So Martin number 10 is taking the lead from Magnus, and oh, did Martin just get in front of him then? Oh, he tried to, didn't he? And RS, so the 3 of them are still sticking. Who's going to blink first? Who's going to take the Joker? Who's going to try and undercut the others? Oh, a little bit there. I think he ran a bit wide there, Magnus, but I think he did okay. He did okay as we all come through to finish lap number 2. Now, someone's going to go. Someone's definitely going to go for a Joker here. Martin's not going. Neither is Magnus, but oh, sorry. RS Ripper's done his Joker. So he's probably thought, right, am I going to come into some clean air? These 2 are going to go pretty much head to head all the way round, because obviously they've got to do their Joker next time out, haven't they? So this will make it interesting. At the moment, Martin number 10's got himself 3/4 of a second, depending on where you are on the track. Obviously it differs ever so slightly. The best part of a second coming over the bump, coming into lap 4. Right. This is what it's all about. This will be interesting, because I think these 2 have got a big enough... Oh, no. Magnus has just blown it. He's just blown it. He just caught the side of that coming around. It's Martin number 10's... Yeah, he just caught the side of the wall there. And that obviously, I know he didn't come to a dead stop, but he's going to have damage. It pretty much took out all the pace out of it. But again, it was a high risk, high reward move. You had to try, didn't you? Oh, and in the meantime, we've had a bit of a... Not quite sure what happened there. I think all 3 just had a bit of a disaster there at the end. I'm not quite sure what happened. I think it destroyed Helmet. So there might be a steward's inquiry into that one, but I think the fair thing to look at is to say Martin number 10 took the win, 2:22.227. Is it just the fastest time of the night? If it is, it's very, very close. It's very, very close. I think it is. That's your fastest time of the night, 2:22.227. RS Ripper with 2:25. There might be a steward's inquiry into this. What happened at the very, very end? I didn't get to see the whole damn thing, but obviously Helmer didn't come out of it very well. So there might be something going on there. I think there's every chance that there might be something going on there. I'm not sure exactly who did what to whom and when. Well, I know when, but I don't know much else. But we'll certainly probably be revisiting that in the next moment or 2. Let's see here. So I'll just wait and see. There's probably something going to come up there. I don't doubt that. So I'm just going to have a look, and we'll just wait and see what transpires. So I can just see there. So we're just hanging on a moment while we wait for the guys who are in qualifier number 2 to take their positions in the lobby. Just have a look at something here. So yeah, that could be interesting. That could be interesting because, like I say, I'm not going to lie, I didn't see everything that happened there. I just saw that there was a coming together that involved, I think it involved all three of them, didn't it? But obviously when I tried to change the camera angles, it didn't want to play ball, which is a bit annoying, because it would have been nice to just been able to see properly exactly what was happening there, and that would have just enlightened me a tad more, and obviously would have enlightened you guys too, because if I'd known, so would you, and then we could see exactly what was happening. But it decided not to tell us that, which is a shame. It's a pity that there isn't something worked into PlayStation that meant you could do replays. That'd be brilliant. There are ways of doing it with things like OBS Studio and stuff like that if you've got a PC and all that lot, but it gets a bit more technical. But hopefully PS5 will have this sort of software. That'll be really good. That'd be really, really helpful, and I think it'd be great for broadcasting. Right. So what have we got? We got Ripper Rapper, MPR Young. I nearly said my own name. How silly would that have been? L-Boy, of course, is in here, and let's see what else we've got here. There we go. Oh no. Yeah, I can see Robin coming in. I can't see his licensing again. Don't tell me we're going to have an issue again. It's not looking good. In fairness, he's jumped himself out of the session. He's going to see if he can try and get himself back. Hopefully he can, with a bit of luck. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit unfortunate. But you never know. Like I say, some things you cannot legislate for. It's called PlayStation, and it involves this technology, and we're all in the lap of the gods, aren't we? I mean, he might try and reload the game again, I don't know, but it's, for some reason, whether that's something in his part of the world, I think, is Robin in Sweden? Oh, have I got that completely wrong? Oh, we just lost L-Boy as well. Now that says it was a disconnection rather than leaving the session, so that does not bode well. That doesn't look great. But we'll soon find out, hopefully. It started off so well tonight, didn't it? You just don't know what's going to happen, dear. That's the thing. You don't know what's going to happen. There was us hoping we'd be all done by now, but hey, these things do happen. Let's see. Right, now I see that. Let's have a look. I'm looking at that, I think. Again, we're just looking at what happened at the end of that race. Let's see that. And again, we're just looking at. Still having problems. Is Robin going to be able to get back? That's the question. Hopefully he can. No, if he can't, he can't. But hopefully he can. I'm going to blame it on Brexit anyway. Everybody else does. I mean, the fact is it a horror show if we don't leave on the 31st of October? I don't know. What do you think? Answers on a postcard to some weird address in somewhere or other that I've no idea about. That's it. Okay, so again, just waiting to clarify that just before we carry on. Let's just see where we are. So again, just waiting. Hopefully we'll be ready. Just waiting for Robin. Is Robin gonna get back? That's the question. We just want to know if he can get back. Again, oh, I keep getting put off by our air freshener. Every now and again it just splurts out like nice, fresh, sweet smelling smells. But that was it. Let's wait and see. We're all ready to go. Just double checking on Robin. What's happening with it? Yeah, let's have a look. Ah, he's in. Yay! Yeah, cool. That's good. All good to go. Yay. Must just be having a bit of fun. It's obviously not his internet, because his internet's usually pretty good in all fairness. But yeah. Again, it'd be the same for everybody. It's no favoritism. We'll do the same for everybody else too. Just hopefully everybody else doesn't have it. Otherwise we will be here all night. It'll be a longie. But don't worry. Like I say, we want everyone in. We want everyone to enjoy it. It's tough sometimes. It's not like normal circuit racing. You just get a lot of people in a lobby and you just toddle off and have a 30-minute race. This doesn't work like that. There's a lot more logistical work to be done. And like I say, because of the way that Rallycross pans out, we want to give everyone a chance. So here we go. We're ready to go. And I needed a drink. So anyway, so Hellboy, Robin, hope it was worth the wait, mate. MPR Young, Ripper Rapper, all the guys are good to go. Let's have a good race. So, ready to go. Foot down. Who gets the best start? Who's going to get off? Toughie that. Was it Ripper? Did Ripper get the start? But it's Hellboy's in second. Robin got a good start. Oh, I don't know whether there was a tap there. Was there a tap there? Between Robin and MPR Young? Don't know. Might be worth looking at afterwards. If it was purely accidental. But I think there was, unfortunately. So in the meantime, let's look at the front two boys. We've got Hellboy and MPR Young, who are looking like they're going to have a battle royale, even though it is only lap one. Was that a bit of rear end wheeling then? It looked it, didn't it? And so both over the jump. I knew you were going to do that. One takes a joker, one doesn't. Again, you can see what the difference is in between that. And again, Hellboy's there. Robin gets right alongside him. No, that's a fair pass. That's a fair pass. Yeah, they might have been alongside, but one wasn't pushing the other. That looked as fair a pass as you could see. That was probably... I'd probably use that in a video. it was that good. That's my opinion anyway. If I put my foot in it, so be it. But that's how I looked at it. So obviously MPR Young is out there in front. He's got his joker to do. It'd be interesting once he takes it, which I think he might. No, he's going to hang on. He wants to try and build that lead. But the front two there, we're watching a battle for second and third because it's where the action is, isn't it, right now, right this second. And it's a good little battle, this, between Robin and Elboy. Elboy's just lost it a little bit there, going a little bit wide. Probably cost him a few tenths. But again, he's keeping there. He's keeping there. It's tight out. Again, he just gets a bit of push off the curb, which probably cost him a little bit of a few miles an hour, which makes a difference. So, obviously, MPR Young went and took that. And it's brought him back in third, but it's tight, this. This is tight. Last lap, it looks like Robin's going to run away with it. He's gone wide. Elboy went wide, but I think he's managed to hold it. MPR Young might go for an undercut on this last corner. Can he get there? Is he close enough? Not quite. Not quite. So, Robin takes it. It was worth it, mate, wasn't it? Robin takes it. Elboy takes the second place with MPR Young well and truly up his backside, for want of better words, and then we get to look at a flatbed American truck, which, don't get me wrong, is probably very, very nice, but it looks a bit poo, doesn't it? Anyway, Robin, 2:22.069, that is the best time of the evening, I can tell you that. Elboy, 2:22.8, he might have been the first person into the 2:21s. Will anyone manage that tonight? Who knows? But again, nothing much between the guys, not Ripper Rapper's greatest night, but it happens, doesn't it? You know, you can be brilliant one week and pretty average the next. Unless you're me, in which case you're rubbish every week, but that's another thing entirely. So Robin takes it, Elboy second, MPR Young third, Ripper Rapper in fourth. So again, good racing, good times, even with one or two incidents. There's nothing between these guys, nothing, and that's the level of competition you've got. That's what it's all about. That's your competition level. Which again is why Magnus put this together. Get some good guys together who are good, hard but clean racers. And even with guys of this level, you're still going to get things happening. It happens. It's the way it goes. You know, it's par for the course. So again, that's your qualifying 4 all over. So I think Martin number 10 might take a second with his, because Robin's 2:22.069 is the best time of the night per se. So that's going to give him the 50-point haul for Q4. That's definitely going to give him that. And obviously Martin number 10 is going to take the second place. So that will probably put him top of the qualifying. So he's probably going to win the qualifying. Not bad considering round 2 was a bit of a disaster for the lad. So he thought it was all over then. Look how things can change massively. A second and a first in 2 qualifying rounds, and it puts you top of the leaderboard, mate. So even with a bad one, you know, you still managed to do that. So all kudos to you. That makes you the man to beat, I think, tonight. Certainly on current form, you are definitely the man to beat. But that's not to say that somebody else can't do it. Because as we know, that's how it goes. You're only as good as your last race, in which case I was rubbish. But that's okay. It beats what I was before it, which was even worse. So again, we're just making sure to get the last bits and bobs of info up there, just to get the other places. Like I say, in that heat, RS Ripper was a 2:25, I think. Yeah, Elboy got his 2:22 in, so he would have been third there, I think. Let's have a look. Let's see. Right, let's have a look at this. Right, let's see this one. Ah, I'll tell you what, let's have a look at it. Ah, here's better. That's better. Oh, God. Let's see. Yeah, let's, hopefully we get that all cleared up pretty soon. Let's see on here. Let's see. Let's just have a look again. These things are tough. Oops. Oh, it's so difficult sometimes. Let's have a look again. We're just looking to clear that up just before we get into the semis and the final. Hopefully everything else will be fine. So, again, if you look, he breaks, he breaks, he breaks, 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 still breaks. It's really hard down there. These things are really tough, aren't they? They are sent to try you, aren't they? Let's see. So we'll just clarify all of that in a moment, and then hopefully then we'll just get that all sorted and we get into the semis, and obviously the main thing that this will do is just get the running order obviously for the semi-final heats, and then obviously the final will take care of itself. So, and hopefully we'll be good to go. So again, shouldn't be too long. We'll just wait and get this part tied off, and then good to go for your last 3 of the night. Like I said, the first 3 rounds went no problem, didn't they? And then all of a sudden everything grinds to a halt. It's par for the course. It's the way things go. But hopefully we can get that all sorted, and we'll be good to go. Hopefully we'll be ready to rock and roll in a second. Just double checking that last part. I think it's some of these things are really tough calls. They're really difficult at times. Things aren't always as straightforward as they look. Let's just see. Hopefully we'll just see if we all agree. We probably won't. Probably all think something different. So we'll just wait and see here for this part. Because again, sometimes these things are... They really do make a difference sometimes. So it's a case of just saying, again, sometimes it's just a case of looking at things and thinking, oh, how exactly have we done whatever it is we have done? But again, there's always lessons to learn. When it comes to stuff like this, again, you can look at ways, how could I do this better? How could we do this? Blah, blah, blah. There's various different things, but you look at it and think, you know, how can you do certain things? Okay, so let's just wait and see. Hopefully we'll... we should be ready to go any second now. We should be good to go. But again, a thing that matters, the thing that you take into consideration is how the person who was affected by it feels. You know, if they don't think it did anything, so I don't think it altered the positions. If I'm honest, I'm not sure whether it altered the positions. So so we should be, I think they'll be just sorting out the grid positions for the semis, and then we should be good to go. We should be good to rock and roll for those. So again, apologies for the bit part for the last 2 rounds. It's just the way it goes sometimes, and again, there's lessons to be learned. There always are. We always get better. We'll always evolve. That's always the thing. Hopefully, I don't even call them mistakes. They're not mistakes. They're things that happen that you can't legislate for until they do happen, and then you find out how you can deal with them. Again, this is more to do with the stewarding process, etc., etc. Some of these incidents are really, really tough. They really are marginal. And again, you know, again, it's for us to look at stuff and think, okay, is there a quicker way of doing this that's still fair? So, like I say, we should be good to go in a mo. Just wait for those tables to put themselves up. And then we'll just see where we are then. But like I say, we should be good to go. Obviously this is where it really comes in now. Not that I'm saying that qualifying didn't matter, but this is where this is the business end, isn't it? Now it's semi-finals and final. This is where everybody wants to put in their good performances. Is anyone going to get into the 21s? Now after Robin did his 222.069, 21 would be a pretty good way to finish off the night, wouldn't it? But could be tough. Could be a tough ask. You've got to get everything right, haven't you? And I mean everything right, just to get into there. It takes some doing, but it's doable, isn't it? It's definitely doable. I'm sure there's somebody out there who can do a 20 or maybe even a 19. I'd like to see footage of it if they could, but there's bound to be someone out there who can do it. But as long as they're doing it without cutting tracks or anything like that, if they're doing it legitimately, there's bound to be someone out there who could do this. But it's quite impressive, because like I said before, these guys are good. You've only got to look at their ratings. They're all good. They're all decent guys. So we'll be ready to go any second out. There you go. I think the one place that we knew was a definite was Martin, wasn't it? No offence to anyone. So Martin, number 10, takes it with 175 points from RS Ripper on 169, the same as Bucko on 169. I'm assuming that the count back goes for who got the top position in most rounds. Not sure. I'm sure somebody will tell me what that is, but because I'm assuming that RS Ripper got 3 better scores than Magnus in qualifying, 3-1. He got better scores, but obviously there was a big 10-point difference in the first one, so I'm assuming that's why he gets the second place over Magnus in the third. Doesn't change the layout though of the semis, obviously, but it does for the qualifying. So Martin gets 16, RS Ripper 15, Magnus 14, Helmer 13, Robin 12, Elboy 11, MPR Young 10, Ripper Rapper 9, Harvard 8. So there you go. We got your 2 semis there, ready to go. So Martin number 10, Magnus, Robin Norlander, MPR Young in the first one, because obviously that's 1, 3, 5 and 7. And then semi number 2 will be 2, 4, 6 and 8, which will be RS Ripper, Helmer, Elboy and Ripper Rapper. So those will be your 4. So we're just waiting for the guys to get themselves in. So we have those 4 in, but there you go. Magnus just needed to make sure that he wasn't part of the commentary team, and he needs to race instead, which obviously does help. Let's see. So we should be ready to go any second now, and we are. So ready to rock and roll for semi-final number 1. And again, I've said it many times tonight, I'll say it once again. This is gonna be so close. In fact, they're all gonna be so close. As I said before, I'm getting boring and repetitive by saying that, but if it's the truth, then what else can you say? But it's all to play for. Obviously now we're not 4-lap races, we're 6-lap races. Possibly a bit more strategy, possibly more chance of somebody blowing their engine to smithereens, because it does happen, doesn't it? Especially if you have a little bit of a knock and you get some damage into that radiator, so the engine gets a bit hammered. So here we go, the Fantastic 4. And who's got the best track position? Debatable. Magnus has got a good position in there. Martin number 10 sitting on the back row, which I'm sure he'd prefer not to be. Again, that's something we can't change. It's good old Project Cars. It doesn't give us a chance to be able to put the grid positions in yourself, which would be helpful. But never mind, we go with what we got. So again, looking for these starts. All these guys can make blistering starts. It's going to be very interesting. But like I say, it's a 6-lap race. Now it's not a case of what's the best time you can do. It's just a case of finishing the first 3. So 3 out of 4 are in the final. So the best thing is make sure you can get around the track. Make sure you get around. Just finish in the top 3. So here we go then. Let's get ready to rumble. Off we go. That's a cracking start, mind, from Martin, I think, as Magnus got the inside line. Oh, right, okay, so these 2 have taken their joker, so that leaves, so Martin number 10 and Robin have taken their jokers. Robin managed to get himself around then and got in front, but in the meantime, you've got Magnus and MPR Young having a battle royale at the front. 2 good battles going on from the 2 that did the joker and the 2 that didn't do the joker. When are these 2 going to do theirs? Are they going to get them over with, or are they going to hold on? Right, Magnus has gone for his, I think. We've left MPR Young still in there. He's come back in just alongside. He's managed to get right in amongst them. So you've got these 3 together, who are the de facto first, second and third, really, and it's really close. So no offence to MPR Young, I'm going to stick with these 3 guys for the minute, because they are the de facto leaders coming into the end of lap 2. MPR Young will be hoping to build himself up a lead big enough to get him to get enough run from the joker. He's not taking it yet. I think he's going to take the gamble on trying to build up a lead that's big enough to see if he can take the joker, because it does make a difference here. Was that was a bit tight coming around there, wasn't it? That was a bit tight coming around there, but no, it's fine, that's okay. I was just having a look at it. I get to see a replay. So again, these three still going, and MPR Young is not being able to push that lead out any further. So again, he might still stay out. He might still decide not to get the Joker in. No, he hasn't. He's keeping out. But again, like I say, I know he's a leader, but I'm keeping these three because these three are tight. MPR Young has just stretched his lead out a little bit. He'll probably be hoping that these three, if these three keep battling each other, then it might prove to be to his advantage. But at the moment, that gap is not increasing. It does alter where you are on the track, but it's down. It's about 1.5 seconds. It's not really changing that much. So is he going to go? Has he gone for the Joker? No, he's not. So he's going to have to go next time out. He's going to have to go next time out. Now, has that gamble paid off for him or not? I don't know. I don't think it has. That's my opinion. It's up to you guys if you want to prove me wrong, but I'm not sure. I think, yes, he's had clean air. Don't get me wrong. That's probably been a good choice to have the clean air, but now the pressure's all on him, and the guys, I think, were too close. I think the guys are too close, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. He's got himself back into second. He's done better off that than I thought he might. He's done better off that than I thought he might. And right into the last lap, Magnus has got himself pushed out into fourth. It's gonna be so tight between these two at the back to see who gets that final place. It's gonna be tight. It's all on this last corner. Can he get it? I think he has, you know. I think he has, you know. He's got it. I think he's got it. I'm just watching the replay again just to see. Yep, you know what? I couldn't see that properly. How much was between them there? Next to nothing. But again, there you go. Between the four guys, less than 2 seconds over 6 laps. What else can you say? That was quite an epic race. I've got to be fair. It was quite an epic race, and I think for the most part, I don't think there was anything untoward in that one. I thought it was a pretty good race, but again, you never know. But it was certainly an interesting race. It was certainly a good race. It was certainly enjoyable to watch. So off that, you've got Robin, MPR Young, and Bocco Bomb into the final with Martin number 10, the one missing out on the very last lap. And again, we just might have an issue there, which can maybe be looked at. So we'll see that in a moment or two. Hopefully we'll leave that until after the second semi. But we'll certainly be able to see, I would hope. But we'll certainly have a look. We'll certainly be able to see it. So hopefully if we have footage, we'll be able to notice whether that is or not, because obviously that could make a difference between who's in the final and who's not in it. So at the moment, like I say, the semi as it is showing obviously Martin number 10 missing out, but there might be a possible steerage between him and Robin with a possible push to pass on lap 1. That's as much as I know at this stage, just to put that into some context. So I'm just going to wait and see if we have any footage of said incident, just so that we can look at it and see. I was going to say, personally I was going to say do semi, yeah. Okay, so I think that's probably what we're going to do semi 2 first and then look at it. Okay, so Okay, so Semi 2, we're ready to go. Ready to rock and roll when everyone is, and then obviously if there are any issues, as in the first one, then we can certainly look at that. If there's anything in this one, just makes sense to do that then in the little gap between that and the final, just to make sure that everything's done in the right sort of way. So again, Semi number 2, and we'll see what we can what these guys can do. So we got the two Ripper brothers. That should be interesting. Battle for supremacy here between these two. Bit of sibling rivalry. I know they're not sat next to each other, but it'd be hilarious if they were. And if you guys get to watch this later, I'd just like to imagine if the two of you were sat side by side. It would just be quite funny. And if you are, I know you're not, but if you were, and if it ever does happen, you need to take a photo or show some video footage. Ah, we just lost RS Ripper. Hang on, we just lost Helmer as well. Hang on a minute, what's going on? We'll just wait for a moment. That might have just been a disconnection or something like that. Right, RS Ripper's coming back in. Maybe there was a bit of an issue there. Helmer's coming back in too. Good. But we haven't got him. Oh no, not again. Yeah, we can't see his licensing, so again I think he's got an issue. Oh, okay, he's saying he's okay. I don't think he is, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. So, because his license isn't showing. Yeah, let's see. And like I say, if your license isn't showing, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. So he might be just trying to do something here. Not so sure, but I mean, he has put his thumb up to say he's good to go, but if his license isn't showing like that, then that tells me that it's not going to be. Let's just see. Let's have a look. Not had much fun tonight, has it? Yeah. Yeah, he's on his way. That's okay. Again, like I say, sometimes these things are out of your scope of what you can deal with. Some of these things you can't deal. Okay, I didn't see anything there, but anything anywhere else? Let's have a look. Have a look. Okay, there's not a lot in that. That's really difficult again. Oh, I love these ones. Let's try and look at that on a bigger screen, shall we? That's tough, that's tough. Again, that's really, really... Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't really show, does it? Let's see that. Right, okay. Let's just see again, just trying to look at some of these things and see where we are. Hopefully, are we good to go? Yeah, we're good to go. So, here goes Semi 2. Hopefully everything will be fine and dandy. Again, from Helmer's point of view, I hope it was worth coming back. So let's see what happens here. Let's just see. Yeah, let's hope everything goes swimmingly as we get this show on the road. So, like I say, get into the part that matters. So as I said, we got the two Ripper brothers. We got Hellboy and we got Helmer. Who's going to get the start? Who's going to get that all-important start and get into the first corner first? Like I say, in track racing it maybe doesn't matter so much, but in this it probably does a bit more. Let's see. So we're ready to go, hopefully. Just waiting for the guys to do their final little bits of preparation before they signal the fact that they're ready to go, which I'm sure won't take them long, but they just want to make sure they're ready. 6 laps. Here we go. We are ready to go. So 6 laps of hopefully good, solid, clean racing. We're off. Who's got the best start there? Tough to say, but it looks like Ripper's done that. Two jokers, 2 non-jokers. Seems to be a recurring theme, doesn't it, tonight? If you got 4 in the race, so you got Ripper Rapper having a great battle with his brother at the minute. The two of them battling away, and obviously the two that took the jokers in Hellboy and Hellboy. Did I say Hellboy? Sorry, Helmer and Hellboy. I've mixed you two together into one like morphed person. Anyway, so at the moment out front into lap number 2 is the two Ripper brothers fighting for supremacy. Who's going to be master of the universe for tonight anyway? So at the moment RS Ripper is in front, with Ripper Rapper obviously trying to keep on his coattails, or on his exhaust or his gearbox, whatever you want to use as an analogy for this one, but they're pretty tight together. There's less than a second in it, and I think Ripper Rapper got a pretty good run off that last corner, so that might help him to bring that down. Are they going Joker yet? No, they're not going Joker yet. Not yet. So into lap 3 they stay. They've got a 2.5 second, well, they've got about 1.7 seconds over Helmer in third, and then you've got Hellboy obviously at the moment in 4th, but hey, everything could change. We're only lap 3 out of 6. There's plenty more to go yet, and plenty more things can happen, as you've seen. So into lap 4, that's 3 laps over with. We're officially halfway, and the Ripper brothers, none of them are deciding to go Joker yet. So obviously the 2 lads behind, which are Helmet and Hellboy, if they can bring that gap down, then obviously they're going to put pressure on the 2 Ripper lads for getting around the Joker. And obviously pressure can make a difference in this. Even if you're behind, just put a little bit of pressure on. It takes one teensy weensy little mistake in this to basically blow everything out the window. But at the moment RS Ripper is comfortable there, even though we got a pretty dodgy landing off. Oh right, okay, so Ripper Rapper's going for the Joker now. So RS Ripper's going to do it on the last lap, and he comes in behind. Ooh, he came in behind Hellboy there, but he managed to get past. I'm not sure how clean that was as a pass. There might have been a bit of a push there, obviously unintentional, but if it makes a difference, then that might be something that the stewards need to look at after. Not that I'm preempting it, I'm just saying at first view it looks like it might be a possible. In the meantime, there's a good little battle going on here between these guys in second and third. At the moment, Helmer's I don't know whether he's blown his engine. What's he done? I don't know where he is, but he's somewhere. I don't know whether he's blown his engine or something, but or did I miss something fundamental that I shouldn't have, but I'm not sure. So as the race completes and I get to look at this rubbish sort of, it's like a Ford SVT, isn't it? So we get RS Ripper takes the win from Ripper Rapper, and Hellboy in third place, Helmet in fourth. Not sure what happened there, mate. Let me know, because did you blow your engine? What happened? Not sure. If I missed it, sorry I missed it, but I'm not sure what might have happened there with that one. So let's have a look. Nothing's ever that simple, is it? Nothing's ever that easy. Okay, so let's see on here, just while we're looking at some different things. Yeah, okay, that's the, again, just trying to look at different things here as we are looking. Okay, not sure what I'm looking at there, but we'll certainly find out. Again, just trying to watch different things. Righty ho, okay. Let's so that's the Semi 2 up there. So let's see. Yeah, that's okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think that's quite good. Again, that was a bit unfortunate, but again, sometimes things happen. Nothing is ever meant, but hey, it's so fast-paced. Sometimes things do take place. With the best will in the world. So let's just see. So again, it's just making sure, just ratifying the 2 semi-finals, and then we should be good to go. So it's just making doubly sure that everything is Just see on that again, trying to look at different things. Let's just see. And again. Again, some incidents are quite clear. In all fairness, one that we're just looking at now was the one I talked about in commentary, which was quite fair, and Helmer's just obviously turned around and said, that's rather weird. Again, we get some different things. Again, lag can play a part sometimes in some of these things as well. So again, just when you look at very odd, isn't it? Just so you see certain things, and it's just no, it doesn't, does it? Let's see. Yeah, very odd. Yeah, occasionally, sometimes these things happen. Yeah, again. Let's have a look here, let me see. Yeah. Mm. Let's have a look, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's... wrong thing again. That's me pressing wrong buttons. Yeah. just clarifying those couple of things. So let's just see here. Again, hopefully we get these last couple of bits and bobs all tied off, and then we'll be good to go. Let's see. Let's just see. So again, just trying to clarify a couple of things, just get a couple of things right, and then even a minute or so seems a long time when you're waiting. In fact, everything takes ages when you're waiting. Even 20 seconds is a long time when you're waiting, unfortunately. But like I say, the guys hopefully have got some footage of that, and they'll be able to look through it and just see what's going on. Okay, so here we go. We're just about ready, I think. Let's see. So we're just about ready to get. Oh, there I am. So we are ready for the final. It's been worth the wait, guys. Seriously, it's been worth the wait. Hopefully we just need clarification to one question. See, I don't know whether it's interesting, because in track racing, or should I say in circuit racing, the curb is not deemed to be part of the track. I don't know in rallycross if the curb is or isn't deemed to be part of the track. That's what I do not know. But so I'm just going to wait and see. again, we're just getting clarification of that to know. Oh, I've just been disconnected. That's a good start. Okay. Yeah, that was good. I got bend. I got disconnected. That was weird. So what are we doing here? Just making sure. I'm just looking to see who we got. Obviously, both the Rippers. We got Robin in. He didn't cut the Joker. It seems to cut the other corner. I'm not so sure here where we are with that. So obviously we have our 6 at the moment. We got the 6 in the lobby. Let's see. So again, we're just going to wait a moment. We just need to be sure. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Again, just trying to clarify something, just check something. And we are ready to go. Believe it or not, we've got here. It is the final. I know. Like I said, best laid plans and all that. So, we are ready for the final here. So we have our 6 guys all good to go. So again, it's 6 laps, it's first past the post. And who's going to get the start? Oh, that seemed a very, very quick start. Did he jump it? I think he did, you know. I think Robin jumped it. Oh, let's see. So Robin's going to have to do 2 jokers then. He's going to have to do 2 jokers because that is definitely a jump start. That is definitely a jump start. But at the moment, Elboy's got the lead into lap 2 then, with RS Ripper and I was going to say RS Ripper and Bucko Bomb. Yeah, we are with RS Ripper and Magnus into 3rd. Rob's obviously in 4th. MPI Young in 5th. Ripper in 6th. But it's a case of who's going to do jokers, who's not going to do jokers. But Hellboy's got himself into a really good position in this. Again, just goes to show. Right, so here we go. The front two are both taking their jokers. So that's left Magnus in the lead at the moment. Hellboy obviously is only a second down on him at the moment, so that probably puts him in a good position. Ripper is in 3rd. Poor old Rob will probably end up coming last because he's got two jokers to do, but you never know, he might put in a sterling performance and do better than that and prove me totally, completely and utterly wrong. But in the meantime, Magnus is leading, was leading. He's now gone and done his joker, so Hellboy is now leading with a 2.3 second lead. Obviously he's not done his joker yet, so it could still all change this as we're into lap 4. So Hellboy leads from 2.2 seconds or so from Magnus, with Ripper Rapper in 3rd, MPI Young in 4th. He's done his joker. Rob obviously in 6th because he's got to do 2. That's pretty unfortunate for him to have done that, but hey, at least he got to the final, I suppose. That's one way of looking at it, but the false starting in it's probably not the way you wanted to do it. But we're into lap 5, we're in the penultimate lap. Is Hellboy, he's going to have to go in now. He's got a 2.5 second lead, or 2.4 seconds at that point. It depends on his joker now. That's really going to matter. Depends how well does he do that. Right, I think he's done that quite well, if I'm honest. He's done that quite well. Has he not done a joker? What's going on here? Because if he hasn't done a joker, then... Or is it just not showing that he's done a joker and he has? I thought he had, but it's not showing it. So that's a kind of weird. Is that a PlayStation weirdie? Otherwise, it's showing Hellboy takes the win. Takes all the plaudits. Magnus comes in 2nd. Ripper comes in 3rd. MPI Young in 4th. RS Ripper in 5th. Rob, obviously, because of his false start, had to do 2 jokers, but it's not showing a joker lap there. So, is that just me? Oh, no, it is. No, it is. But that's after the race, though. So Hellboy takes the win with Magnus 2nd, Ripper Rapper 3rd, MPI Young 4th, RS Ripper 5th, poor old Robin in 6th because, like I say, he had to do 2 jokers. I know it says a 20-second penalty there, but yeah, I just don't know whether did Hellboy do a joker in the beginning? I don't know. That's what I don't know. And it doesn't tell me on it, does it? It doesn't say whether they've... I know he did it right at the end afterwards, but that was after the race had finished. I'm not sure what went on there. I'm so not sure what went on. Although he did do a fast lap, didn't he? But I would like to know, because I don't remember. It's not showing that there's been a joker done. So that's kind of weird. That's really, really weird. But we will clarify that at some point. But that was certainly your final, and that was interesting, wasn't it? It can throw that up, which is a bit weird and wonderful. But hope you enjoyed it. It was interesting. It started off really, really well. Everything went perfectly, and then one or two things didn't go to plan, unfortunately. But hey, we will do our best. We will see where we can go with that. But yeah, hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed watching. Sorry for the one or two bits and bobs that didn't go to plan, but other than that, hope you had a really good night, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Hope you enjoyed your time in hell. All the best. Look after yourselves. Keep well.